We're talking about children, girls as young as 14 being assaulted, being trafficked by wealthy and powerful people. This is not political. This is personal. This should be nonpartisan. We should be working on this together. And it's incredible that we're politicizing rape, we're politicizing sex trafficking, we're politicizing this entire Epstein thing.
If you care about real accountability in Washington, make sure you hit like, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications, because what you're about to hear exposes exactly how broken and political our justice system has become. This moment out of Congress is one the media doesn't want you paying attention to. Nancy Mace didn't just challenge Democrats, she called them out to their faces for playing politics with contempt of Congress, while real victims are being ignored. And once you hear what she lays out, you'll understand why the hypocrisy charge hits so hard.
I recognize the Republican on this. Miss Mace, do you want to be recognized?
That would be great, Mr. Chairman. I have a number of documents I would like to enter into the record this morning with unanimous consent. First of all, I want to ask my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to stop playing politics with justice. Not a single one of you voted for your own party to be held in contempt. I'm the only member of this body, of this committee, that has held both Republicans and Democrats alike in contempt for defying a congressional subpoena. So the hypocrisy is real, and I don't want to hear anyone on the other side of the aisle say no one is above the law here on this.
This video comes from a heated committee exchange where Nancy Mace takes aim at Democrats for refusing to hold their own side accountable. She reminds everyone that when a motion was made to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress, every single Democrat voted against it. Meanwhile, she points out that she has been consistent, voting to hold both Republicans and Democrats in contempt when they defy congressional subpoenas. That matters, because accountability is either universal or it's meaningless. Mace makes it clear that this debate isn't about partisan games. She says the phrase, "no one is above the law," gets thrown around constantly, but only when it's politically convenient. When it comes to protecting powerful people or party insiders, suddenly the rules change. That's not justice, that's selective enforcement.
We're talking about human trafficking, sex trafficking. We're talking about children, girls as young as 14 being assaulted, being trafficked by wealthy and powerful people. This is not political. This is personal. This should be nonpartisan. We should be working on this together. And it's incredible that we're politicizing rape, we're politicizing sex trafficking, we're politicizing this entire Epstein thing. And it just, as a survivor, I'm telling you, it should not be. And I've done a lot of work, Mr. Chairman, in advocacy and writing legislation for victims of abuse, male, female, and children, man, woman, and child. South Carolina, my home state, Mr. Chairman, has a huge problem with with all sorts of violent crimes, but sex trafficking in my state is up by over 400%. We have domestic violence in our state where you can't get a trial. And there was a case last year where a woman 2 years ago was kidnapped by her boyfriend, beaten to a pulp, her face just beaten in. 2 years after he kidnapped her and beat her, he murdered her on Mother's Day because our local solicitor refused to prosecute that case.
What really sets this speech apart is how Mace shifts the focus to the victims. She talks about sex trafficking, human trafficking, and children as young as 14 being abused by wealthy and powerful individuals. She says this should never be a partisan issue, and she's absolutely right. These crimes are not talking point. They're real, they're horrific, and they demand serious consequence. Speaking as a survivor herself, Mace calls out the fact that rape and sex trafficking are being politicized. From a patriotic perspective, that's one of the most disturbing parts of this entire exchange. A government that can't protect women and children, or refuses to enforce the law evenly, is failing at its most basic responsibility. She then turns to her home state of South Carolina, laying out case after case that shows how broken the justice system has become at the local level. She cites a more than 400% increase in sex trafficking, cases where violent offenders and convicted pedophiles face decades in prison but serve little to no time, and judges or prosecutors who repeatedly let dangerous individuals back onto the streets.
I have rogue solicitors and prosecutors and attorneys general who aren't doing anything to protect the people of South Carolina, women and children especially. Recently, my Attorney General prosecuted a case against convicted pedophile Donald Gresh. Donald Gresh was convicted of having 1,900 images of toddlers as young as 3 being raped by animals. Donald Gresh, under the prosecution of my Attorney General Alan Wilson, served 1 day in jail. 1 day. Donald Gresh isn't the only pedophile, convicted pedophile, that we prosecute like that. My Attorney General Alan Wilson prosecuted this case. This is Travis Reed Gay. Well, the other thing, too, is that Donald Gresh, he was facing 60 years in jail, got 1 day. Travis Reed Gay was facing 70 years, 7 charges and 70 years in jail in South Carolina. My Attorney General prosecuted this case. He pled guilty in November, didn't serve any time. He got probation. He violated his probation 11 days later, and if he violated his probation, he was to serve time in jail. The magistrate or judge, probably didn't have a law degree, let him out hours later. He has not served any required time for this kind of thing. And I did a press conference with a bunch of moms, over a dozen moms last week in Charleston, South Carolina, and there was a local media blackout. I asked, was it my Attorney General who prosecuted this case and led this pedophile out on the streets? Was he the one that led the media blackout? Well, I want my Attorney General in my state to know that a young child came forward after seeing my press conference and recognized this man. She filed a police report the same day because he allegedly followed her in a park the week before. This is Scott Spivey, killed, shot with a bullet in the back, shot at 17 times, not prosecuted by my Attorney General. So I'm going to ask unanimous consent, Mr. Chairman, to enter those 3 images into the record. This is Weldon Boyd. This is Scott Spivey's killer who shot him in the back and has never really been investigated or prosecuted for that killing in South Carolina. I would like to enter that into the record, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, so ordered.
This is Logan Federico. She was executed a year ago, yesterday to the day, by a man named Alexander Dickey. Alexander Dickey was a convicted criminal. He had 39 arrests, 25 felony charges. He executed this beautiful 22-year-old daughter of Stephen Federico in cold blood after stealing a gun. If her killer, Alexander Dickey, hadn't been let out by a rogue magistrate or judge or a prosecutor or solicitor that didn't care, she would be alive today. Mr. Chairman, I would like to enter her image and her killer's image into the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
I have another image. This is Eric Bowman. Eric Bowman beat his wife and has been alleged and is being investigated for other abuses against women and potentially underage girls. He was just let out free, Mr. Chairman, out of jail in South Carolina. He is a predator. I have reported him to law enforcement. He's under investigation, but I have written bill after bill about predators like Eric Bowman, about voyeurism, about these sort of criminal sexual allegations. I would like to enter his image into the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
I have 2 more.
Can we get it? Your time's expired.
Mace describes victims who were ignored until it was too late, including young women who were murdered after known criminals were released by what she calls rogue magistrates and prosecutors. She even explains how media outlets appeared to ignore a press conference victims with families, raising serious questions about who is being protected and why. From a patriot standpoint, this is exactly why Americans have lost trust in institutions. Justice is supposed to be blind, but what we see instead is political favoritism, soft on crime policies, and a ruling class that plays games while innocent people pay the price. Nancy Mace's message cuts through the noise. Accountability can't be optional. The law can't depend on your party affiliation. And Congress shouldn't be more concerned with protecting political allies than protecting women, children, and everyday Americans. If you agree that justice should apply equally regardless of party, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. These are the stories the mainstream media glosses over, and we're going to keep bringing them to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.